After some training, you probably come as a war veteran, chest forward, as if the orders are hanging. We were shocked because we were closed very quickly. We all thought to the last minute that we will not be closed. I found a way out, ran along the hallway, the floors. I decided to organize social yoga that is more accessible outdoors.
Заметила, что около моего дома ребята занимаются спортом.
Noticed that guys are doing sports near my house. They use absolutely everything: benches, swings and some ladders in order to exercise. It seems to me that this was not practiced before. Why? Because it may have been possible to go somewhere, to do some other things. Rather, the fact that now there is no such opportunity, a human being is a creative creature who always strives for something. People try to take care of themselves. It is quarantine that most likely showed that one needs to deal with their health. It's hard, of course, for those who recovered. It was hard to go back to normal life, and we, who were constantly doing it, we felt a little easier. Everybody understood that sitting at home is not good. At least they went out, and it happened that there was a lot of them. Even my brothers, who had never run in their lives, started running, and even nowadays, from 6 to 7 a.m., probably the rush time, when there are a lot of people. They walk in parks, run, namely do sports, run. And there are always a lot of people on the exercise machines. And this makes me happy indeed. Crowds of people working out in squares and parks, crowded sports grounds and yards, overcrowded fitness centers. Coaches, nutritionists and active lifestyle people themselves speak in one voice about the post-quarantine trend on HL and sports.
Я бегаю уже 4 года, из них 3.
I have been running for 4 years already, 3 years of which are regular. That is, constantly. Running already became a lifestyle. We got used to it. Every day getting up early, running. During quarantine, of course, we were worried in general how to get out, if not allowed. I found a way out. We were running along the hallway, along the floors. It was exactly such a period when the season opens. And we had to do a lot of strength exercises. And I was running along the hallway. I ran near the hallway and around the house. There are 300 meters of space around my house. It was not allowed to go further. One good news about this pandemic is that people have grasped the usefulness of physical activity and running as prevention of disease. It is better to exercise, not just recover from the disease, but to be healthy in general. Namely, this is the psychology that we try to convey to people, which has been practiced in the West for a long time. Whereas in our country, we do not do so until it is too late. When in the middle of March there was a smell of blood in the water, Janat Kozhakmetov, as the majority of Kazakhstan citizens, worked in the office. The sphere of event marketing in which he worked was one of the first to suffer from the pandemic. Anti-corona crisis measures had to be taken as a matter of urgency. Janat decided to make being healthy a hobby. At the best of times, I could combine a hobby and some income from there with my salary, more precisely, with my work and my salary. And it was, so to say, quite enough to feel myself comfortable enough. Naturally, the loss of my main job shook my condition a little, but thank God not psychologically. And I made more emphasis on hobby, on its usefulness, profitability for everyone, including me. Janat managed to repurpose his activities with minimal losses for the family budget. In the first strict lockdown, when the whole world was sitting at home, he redesigned his training sessions for online format, launching his own course for beginner runners. Our courses meant to be that they would be available to any beginner Russian-speaking person, anywhere in the world in fact, where on a resource, on a particular platform, were online lessons, strictly structured, access periodically opened when needed. We enter our private office. Lesson 1, title, we look through, where I show some exercises, Here I explain something, below comes the task. We look through the theoretical part, we do the practical part. We attach some reports. We have seen it all online, analyzed it, accepted it, and then open next lesson. Fitness instructor Sharizat Jankabayev evaluated all pros and cons of online training as well. Classes in closed halls were the first to be banned. We were shocked because we were very quickly closed. We all thought to the end that we will not be closed. One day we were told that we would be closed, and it was for an indefinite period of time. So most coaches probably, even after a week, switched to online training with their personal clients. Because in the first week we seemed to have been closed for a month and nobody wanted to miss a month. It was difficult just because we were not inclined towards offline training, where all the personal trainers were here and online. It is hard to switch to sitting at home and you do not have the environment in which you present and can work. But it's very convenient in the sense that when you have a client, let's say a student of a foreign university, his vacation comes to an end and he goes to study. You can continue with him, smoothly move from online to online training, thus not to lose time and so that there are no gaps in training. Natalia Kazantseva felt the growing trend of healthy lifestyle even before the quarantine. She left her job, which she no longer liked, and recalled an old passion for healthy eating and specialized education. I like to do ballroom dancing. It is actually sports, and whilst studying at the Medical Institute, I was into kalinatics. Gradually, I started to do fitness. Then the circumstances turned out in a way that prompted me to quit my job. I'm not afraid of anything new because it seems to me that it is very right to live adapting to the times and to keep up with the world. It is not true because young people are very right when they change their jobs very easily. In the same way, I decided at some point to drastically change my life. I reckon I succeeded. I am doing my favorite job. I don't know how my intuition worked. At the start of her new work, Natalia intuitively began to build all her new work with the help of social networks and messengers. No office, no extra personal contacts, only safe online communication. I work with WhatsApp. It is a very convenient format. I like it because it is not time-based, it is not place-based, and my students can learn when time allows them. I do not need anything for my work except for my smartphone. First of all, I explain what my weight loss courses consist of. Explain all about it. I tell that there are about PP, about correct eating habits, about the time when you can eat and what you can eat, about the combination of products, and of course, about working with the subconscious. There is no way without this. If a person is set up properly, if they set themselves up properly, the desire of the person is very important, and only then everything happens very easily. We use the most important tool, naturally. It is targeted advertising in Instagram, where all people are present, especially during quarantine. That's why we only went through this main channel. As for the open training in real life, I can only say here that the most important way of advertising is grape wine. All that come, 99%. They have heard from someone and come by personal recommendations. Personally, my Instagram is just a confirmation of the aforementioned. Let's say Saulia says, Ainagul, Janat is a good coach, go to him. Does he have an Instagram account? Yes, he does. She goes to Instagram, looks, yes, he jumps, runs, laughs. As a confirmation of all my actions, and they come then to the training and make sure of it. If through the prism of business, I chose the location where new people came, looking at us from the outside. Plus nature and yoga recommend a connection with nature. In general, it turned out to our benefit. Who would know, yes, that the majority of people happen to have this opportunity. Yoga instructor Arman Nurmagomedov did not have a very good experience with online classes, but with the ease of quarantine, he moved to nature. A unique selling proposition was a democratic pricing policy during the Corona crisis. Initially, I taught yoga at the center. In the first quarantine, there was a ban and an attempt to run online. But I did not find any customers, if I may say so. So I decided to make social yoga more accessible outdoors. I started in the middle of summer. I set the minimum price 1,000 tenge per class so that it was available to everyone. I did not limit people to subscriptions. People paid for each class. And to create the feeling that they can come at any time they want. The opportunity is present, also a desire. And they came. Janat Kozhakmetov, too, considering the shaken financial situation of many people, offers anti-crisis bonuses. First week of classes is free. The opportunity to pay in parts, discounts for socially vulnerable groups. The main thing for the coach is to help as many people as possible to come to sports and HL. Because everyone understood that the very disease that affected everyone affects the lungs in the first place. And all we had to do was to ventilate the lungs with such fresh steppe air. People come to the training sessions that have been affected by this disease. Some of them used to run, and the main task for them was to psychologically accept that it was necessary to reset. That is, go back to the initial, beginner level of the runner and start all over again. Both lungs and joints needed to be safely adapted to recover as soon as possible and show previous results. However, there are also those that never, let's say in their conscious life, used to run. They recovered and the doctor told them, fibrosis. Health can be obtained only if you lead an active life. Movement is life. This aphorism of the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle in 2020 has a special meaning. Janat Kozhakmetov is not going to rest on his laurels. According to plans for the cold season, I want to say that we never stop. Winter, summer, at 6 a.m. we are here. We just have more clothes, or less if it's warm, and that's it. Everything else, as they say, is in our hands. The main task, if we woke up in the morning and we have legs in their place, we run. There can be no other excuse anymore. No excuses. Here the consciousness of people should change, that we run some kind of marathon to come down, or we run to be alive and to be healthy. This is as a lifestyle. Of course, we would all like training to go back to the way they used to be, but I think this is just not possible anymore. Why? Because I think a lot of people have understood during this time. They have understood that they need to value each other, love each other, that they need to be more careful about everything, their feelings, their thoughts, their body finally, because the body is our huge resource, which unfortunately we do not use at all. We're used to only take and give nothing back. We are finally beginning to hear it and listen to it. This is the most important thing. Hear and listen to our bodies, a simple pill during a pandemic, and not only. It is clear in the end of 2020 that you cannot escape from problems, especially in work and business. Healthy thinking is the key to success in any business. After some training, you probably come as a war veteran, chest forward, as if the orders are hanging. And this makes people more confident in themselves, expands their consciousness. And through running, in addition to getting up early and furthermore a lot of running, human consciousness expands. In fact, there are no boundaries. So I ran my ultra-marathon for 23 hours and ran 192 kilometers. Naturally, I was worried. I imagined that it was a long run, 24 hours. No matter by any stretch you run in time. How much you run, how much you run. In addition, taking into consideration the mathematical layout, I calculated that I have to run so much each time. We turn off all emotions and just run. And when you finish, you realize that while you were there thinking, worrying about something, you did it. The same each training makes the winner of all those who attended it. Hence, any character builds up. It seems to me in any business, especially entrepreneurial. Everything is only through discipline.